What up, everybody? This is your boy, The Know It All, coming at you with another video. We're going to do a 3-part Know It All special. A Know It All What If special. Olympic version. I love the Dream Team. I love that the NBA players go over to the Olympics. It changed the game globally. We got a lot of international stars now in the game, and it all stems from the Dream Team. But I always had a what-if scenario, and it only was for 3 teams as far as Olympic teams. So that's what these specials are for. This is part 1 of a 3-part special. This first one is going to deal with the 92 Dream Team. The 92 Dream Team, best team I ever seen. But if people don't know, they had a select team that off the record beat the Dream Team, even though they didn't play with Michael Jordan. But it made me think, what if they didn't send the NBA players? Could the U.S. have fielded a team that could have won the gold medal, even though they was going up against grown men? Me personally, I think the U.S. could have fielded a team that would have brought the gold medal home, strictly with college players. And at the time of 92, the team I'm going to select was probably the best of the best in college. So we're going to get right to it. At point guard, as you can see the video behind me, even though it's old footage, I'm going to go with Penny Hardaway. I'm going to go with Penny Hardaway as my starting point guard, and my backup point guard, based on what was going on in 92, would be no other, even though I can't stand Duke, would be Bobby Hurley at Duke. Do your research. Check what you need to check. But my 2 point guards would be Penny Hardaway and Bobby Hurley. I think they would do damage in the Olympics. At 2 guard, my 2 guards would be, I would start off with Jimmy Jackson from Ohio State. Yes, I do hate Ohio State, but in 92, I like Jimmy Jackson. He had just went pro, got drafted by the Mavericks, but that's a whole nother story. But Jimmy Jackson was cold. Jimmy Jackson was cold. I'm going to go with Jimmy Jackson, and my backup 2 guard for this year would be Harold Miner. I know that name came out of nowhere for a lot of you guys, but if you know, you know, do your research. Harold Miner from USC would be my backup 2 guard. So I got my starting backcourt would be Penny and Jimmy Jackson. My backups would be Bobby Hurley, Harold Miner. If you know, you know. At small forward, this is where I think things get real interesting for the U.S. and shit get real, as the kids say. And shit gets real. At small forward, I'm going to start with another player from Duke. I'm going to go with Grant Hill. Duke was just coming off winning the championship, and Grant Hill at the time was getting busy. You know, he was getting busy as a, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to take Grant Hill, and at my backup small forward, I'm going to go with Monster Mash itself, Jamal Mashburn from the University of Kentucky. Again, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Mashburn was a killer. You know what I'm saying? At the power forward, I'm going with the man-child himself. I'm going with Chris Webber of the Fab Five. He was just coming off his freshman season, dominating freshman season. I'm going with Chris Webber, man-child. They're going to need some muscle like that in the paint to deal with these quote-unquote grown men. And as Larry Bird was saying, Chris Webber was a man amongst boys. So I think he would have held his own real well in the Olympic competition. And the other power forward I would select would be out of Wake Forest, Rodney Rogers. Look, everybody talks about who was Zion. Rodney Rogers, go check the film, was Zion before Zion. He was built like a bull, could jump, could shoot, left hand. He was Zion, everything Zion do when he was at Duke. Go check out Rodney Rogers. And this is where I think the U.S. would smoke in the 92 Olympics. At the center position, You going with the guy who should have been on there from jump, but we know politics plays a key. We going with Shaq. We going with Shaq. We going with Christian Laettner, of course. And I'm coming with Alonzo Mourning too. So I can give you a whole bunch of different looks. As far as big men, you ain't gotta everybody ain't gotta play big minutes. We gonna get defense. Laettner could pop out at times. It can get ugly. I think it would get real ugly in the international game. And my wild card player for the 92 team, I'm taking Walt Williams from Maryland. If you know, you know. Walt Williams, versatile. He could play 3 positions, point, 2, or the small forward. So you can mess around with your lineups real well. Have big lineups, small lineups. I think this team would have won the gold medal. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I think this team would have been devastating in the Olympics. I actually love this team. Let me know in the comments if you think a better lineup would be better than this. Strictly of college players. This is a what if, because some of y'all will be, well, this, shut the fuck up. This would, strictly college players. Could you make a team that you think at the time in 92 that would beat this team? Let me know. This your boy, The Know It All, with the new video. Let me know what you think. Later.